This episode of The Rest is Football is powered by our new presenting partners, Fuse Energy. We're thrilled to welcome them to the team, especially outside the regular transfer window.
A new signing providing power and energy. That sounds like a bit of me back in the day, Gaz.
And reliable too, not one of those fair weather players who go missing in December.
Fuse will be powering The Rest is Football right through the season. They're one of the UK's fastest growing energy suppliers, building solar farms and helping homes make smarter choices. Power that performs throughout the season.
Fuse, keep everything running, lights on, meters smart, cars charged, a full squad you can count on.
And when you sign up for their fixed rates, your energy prices hold their shape, even as the nights turn colder and the title race heats up.
The season is long, but with Fuse, the energy never drops. For more information about energy that hits the top corner every time, head to fuseenergy.com/football. Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Micah Richards, Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. We're recording this on the Thursday after a couple of fascinating nights of Champions League football in which you two were both involved work-wise. Who wants to start? Mike? Well, Alan, actually, because you actually went to two games, weren't you? Obviously, you're doing the co-coms at Liverpool Real Madrid game.
Yeah.
But also, they cut you up in Vision. I saw you at St James's Park as well. So a good couple of days.
Yeah, good couple of days. Yeah, and what about Big Dan's header? How the hell did you get the bend on the header like that? It was brilliant, wasn't it? Yeah,
he's the Brazilian of headers.
Newcastle were a lot better last night than they were at the weekend. Although I have to say, Bilbao were pretty poor. They had injuries. All their forward players were out.
Yeah.
Once Dan got that goal, I thought there was never any part of me that was worried. You know, even when the ref or the assistant on the side puts up the extra time at the last, and it came up 5 minutes. Normally, there's a moan and a groan if you're winning. I don't think anyone was that worried because Newcastle were that comfortable. I think they were rather weak, Bilbao, but it was a lot better from Newcastle after what we saw last weekend.
What were you doing, Mike? Are you in the studio both nights?
For
nights. CBS.
Yeah. Gareth Bale was in the studio for the first night. Really nice guy who was reminiscing about our battles. And you remember the quote? He said, "I was the hardest defender he ever played against."
Did he stick with that, or did he say he was only joking?
He stuck with it, guys. But it's nice. Jamie Carragher was out the studio. We always have a laugh at a joke that the studio was better without him, and we got really big numbers because it was a big game as well. So he was seething. But it was good. As for the game, I thought Liverpool were excellent.
Well, they've gone back to how they were last season, and not just in terms of the way they perform, but also the style of their play and their midfield.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. It was always going to be difficult to get Wirtz in the team. And we talked about that. And me and Alan, we had a bit of, not a back and forth, but he was alluding to the fact that there wasn't winning the challenges. I agreed with that point. But it was just, they were lacking something in the middle of the park. And when you've got Gravenberch back and when you've got McAllister back, we know the running power of Szoboszlai. They do look a little bit better balanced in that way, I would say. And that's the point I was trying to make. And then Wirtz going on the left instead of Gakpo did really well. Conor Bradley, what a performance from him. Do you remember when I said a couple of pods ago, I watched him on Northern Ireland on a Friday night, and for them, he had so much confidence. And I said he needed a big performance, and that certainly was an amazing performance from him.
Because obviously the situation with Trent, and it was pretty negative towards him, which you'll have a view either way, which is fine. But because Trent was sat on in the dugout as a substitute, every tackle, every run, every pass, every cross was like cheered from the Liverpool fans as if it was a goal. I really think that spurred him on. And can you remember, was it last season or the season before, you had that crunching tackle with Mbappe?
Yes.
He had a similar one with Vinicius Jr. and the roar was like, I thought every single Liverpool player were brilliant. I thought Wirtz put a shift in. Ekitike was brilliant. The midfield, obviously. Van Dijk and Konate, who have come in for criticism, I thought they were brilliant. Robertson was fantastic. The keeper made a save when he had to make a save in the first half, Mohamedashvili. But I thought the pick of the bunch and my man of the match was, without doubt, was Conor Bradley. He was outstanding.
Such a very, I suppose, English Premier League, British thing, call it what you like, but we get more excited about crunching tackles than perhaps. And I think that encapsulates perhaps the two different kind of footballers that Trent compared with his young prodigy. And they are very different, but I think in many ways we perhaps seem to appreciate someone who's more destructive than someone that's perhaps more creative. And I get it. And I actually thought boos make a bigger impact than applause, but when they panned around the crowd, there were one hell of a lot of Liverpool fans that actually stood on their feet and applauded Trent Alexander-Arnold when he came on. And I think it's important to mention that, because that was the classy way to deal with it. You know, I get the rivalry and you want to boo your opponents anyway, whoever they are, but there's a lot of classy responses, I think, from the Liverpool fans, which they get drowned out by boos because you can't really hear applause as much. But I think it's a real interesting thing because in Spain, they don't play football that way, crunching. You know, you get used to kick lumps out of you, but kind of the modern era, the way they play, they keep the ball, the possession side of things. But overall, Liverpool were much, much the better side. If it hadn't been for Courtois, who was unbelievable, as he was, if you recall, in the final in France a few years ago when Liverpool played Real Madrid, made 2 or 3 unbelievable saves in that game. I mean, what a goalkeeper he is. Without him, Liverpool would have absolutely battered them, wouldn't it?
He looks so big in the goal, you know. Even, you know, when Wirtz crossed the ball into Szoboszlai in the first half, and he came out and sort of made himself huge, didn't he, to block him? I mean, he looks a mountain in the goal as if nothing. And it was always going to take something. I mean, the special to beat him, the crossing and the header were brilliant. But he was outstanding. And as you say, it wasn't for him. It would have been 4 or 5, maybe more.
Yeah, I'm going all over the place here, but I quite like these conversations. Who's the best keeper in the world at the moment? Because you've obviously Courtois, and then there's Raya at Arsenal. I mean, he's not conceded a bloody goal hardly this season.
Yes, but if you look at what's in front of him.
Alisson's obviously injured at the moment. You've got Donnarumma as well, who's been really good generally for Manchester City. And there's some great goalkeepers around now, isn't there? There really are.
Yeah, I think Courtois has been the best for a while. I would say in the Premier League, it would be Alisson. I think Raya's on his way to being the best, certainly. But what Alisson done, his one-on-one shot stopping is ridiculous.
Yeah. All Blacks are worth a mention as well. He has to be in any conversation. Atletico. I mean, I think the art of goalkeeping's got better. I mean, they're bigger for a start, aren't they, generally? I mean, Raya's not. Raya's actually the exception. He's only I think he's only 6 feet 1.
I think they're probably better athletes, aren't they?
I did say this about 6 months ago. I mean, the keepers.
It's funny how you say everything that just happened, isn't it?
What did I say? We had an argument, me and you. We got the receipts for this. And I said that the goalkeepers now are more athletic. And he was like, oh no, they was basically overweight back in the day.
Let me make one valid point here, right? Okay. So you've got to remember that back in the day, goalkeepers used to have to dive out of mud.
Oh, here we go. Back in my day, the boots were rubbish, the pitches were crap.
They were true.
Players were slow. I was like running in treacle. What are you talking about?
Literally what we were. Well, not literally. We almost were running in treacle because muddy's like that, Micah. Muddy's thick and it collects around your boots, and you used to have to clean your boots at half time. There's no mud anymore, and the game is much the better for it. In fact, that brings me to a point that, and because I saw it go on, I think, social media with Thierry Henry, and it was on CBS, and he was talking about perhaps that the game now, as he thinks possibly that it's more about data and all this kind of stuff than perhaps individual flair. Is the game not as good to watch now? Or
it's a good
what what do you think? We're not producing players. But then you look at someone like Lamine Yamal. I don't know whether you saw his goal.
Yeah.
I mean, in one of the craziest games of football. I mean, the way Barcelona plays, it's mental. It's just nuts. Yeah. I know we're going all over the place, but it doesn't really matter. And I think that high line, I mean, Bruges just, every time they attacked, they just went through. And that was actually, if you remember, that was his undoing when he was the German national team boss, that they just didn't cope with the counter-attack. And I think the longer it goes with this, and much as I admire, and I hope his football works, because, I mean, it really makes for fantastic, entertaining football.
I think it was the first goal, Gaz, Trisoldi. I mean, the high line, they must have been 3 yards inside their own half, still trying to play him offside.
That's it. When the ball's being about to be passed forward, they're still going towards the ball. Yeah. I mean, if if you've got half a brain as a striker there, you don't even need to take a chance, because you know they're going in the wrong direction, and you're going to go and be ready to turn that way. So the timing has to be so perfect. And once teams are not daft, and coaches are not daft, they're going to work this out. Imagine Haaland playing, Man City playing against them, if they played that way. Yeah. I mean, it would be carnage.
I was cringing at that defender. But
having said that, I mean, Lamine Yamal was absolutely breathtaking again. I mean, some of the bits that he did, one pass, I think, for the first goal or second goal, and the goal he scored himself. I mean, gorgeous stuff.
This is special.
He doesn't seem to worry him all the bit of criticism for his attitude and all that kind of stuff, and he's a bit cocky.
I don't know if you saw when he was coming in and getting off the coach, he had this big chain on, this big diamond chain, and one of the lads in the studio was like, "Is he going to a concert?" But it doesn't faze him. He just does his own thing. I just absolutely love him. That he talks. He basically talks shit before the game. Yeah. And he backs it up. So I love him even more. I love players like that who can back it up.
What do we want? Mundane, boring, pre-match?
No, we don't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, sorry, we didn't play so well today, but, onward and forward will be better for this. Or you're going into a game, well, we'll take every game as it comes. Do we want all that? No, we want a bit. And then as soon as someone comes out and says something a little bit brash, a little bit cocky, a little bit arrogant, if you like, then we complain about it. So,
Micah, you're in with the kids, right? Can you?
You don't say it like that, Ali. Say, I'm down with the kids. I'm down with the kids. Go on.
Okay, you're down with the kids. Can you tell me what's this with the wrist coverings, the bandages on the wrist? I think there's at least one person in every team now with a bandage
Phil
up
Foden,
wrist.
Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, what is it? Have you noticed it, Micah?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
I mean, has Phil Foden had a bad wrist for about 3 years?
Maybe he's got some snus under there that he just takes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's anything to do with an injured wrist or anything like that. Can I just make one quick point? Because I've just noticed it, Alan, and by the time this goes out, everyone will know the result of Traitors. But when did you become a traitor?
What, with
that
my
outfit you've got on? Yeah. Put it over your head, Al. Please put it. Go on, let me have a look. See if you look like. There he is. There he is. Please don't murder either Micah or me tonight, because we're faithfuls, okay? We're definitely faithfuls.
That's Has given you the little prompt there, isn't it? Has, you little fucker?
No, it wasn't. It actually wasn't this time. I know he loves Traitors, but so do I. I've been watching the whole series. It's been absolutely
Who's been
brilliant.
the best on it? I heard Alan Carr's been good.
Joe Marler and Alan Carr. Alan Carr's been an absolute star, and he's brilliant. By the time this goes out, people will know one. We're doing this on Thursday, but Alan Carr's been absolutely sensational. I think Joe Marler's been a bit of a star as well. He calls it as it is.
Sorry, who's Joe Marler? Who's that? Sorry.
Rugby player.
The big lad.
The big guy,
Big sorry,
unit,
I know who that is. Sorry.
Unit, but he's been very good.
So you're not down with the kids, are you? Keep up, will you?
Yeah, David Surran, one of our hosts on A Journey Through Time, as well as one of our podcasts, and he's kind of, I would say he got away with it a little bit, but he's kind of wriggled through somehow to the final. I don't know who won, but we've
definitely gone off track on this
watching
pod,
that. If you're going to wear a Traitor's outfit, what do you expect?
Micah's on about snus. We've got white bandages on wrists. We've got other podcasts.
Anyway,
quickly though, I know we're bouncing around, but did you see the interview with Van Dijk and Rooney? By the way,
Oh, a little bit of, but I've had that over the years. You've had that probably as well, hasn't it? Because I will say I get it from both sides, but because players don't like to be criticised when things are not going well, but pundits you have to be honest, and you call it out as you see it. But I also understand why you get humpy. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I would imagine that if Wayne Rooney's spoken about Virgil van Dijk 50 times, 49 times out of 50 would have been very positive. Correct. He's not been in the punditry game long enough probably to mention him that many times, but we have. So we would also have mentioned Virgil van Dijk over what we've done this pod now, 2.5 years almost. I would say almost every time we've eulogised about him, we've told everyone how amazing he is, what a leader he is, but this season, slightly below par start, and we would call that out. So he could equally be critical of us for that. But footballers, and in fact, not just footballers, I think all people in life, if you get hundreds of compliments and you get one derogatory comment, insult, criticism, call it what you like, that's the one that tends to stay in your mind and it stays in your head. Yeah. And they forget all the lovely things that you've said. So I understand it from both sides.
Well, it didn't happen like that in my career. 99% was all bad. I got 1% was a good comment every now and then.
Micah, you're being harsh.
Being harsh? You was the one creating it.
I'm just trying to be nice to you.
Match of the day, back in the day, Alan. Oh my God. That Micah Richards, he had a great start to it. What's happened to him? He's out of position here. He's out of position there. There's no communication.
He's put on 3 stone.
Did he have a point, Micah?
To be fair, Alan never criticised me.
No,
he never criticised me.
He didn't know you were. Anyway, we digress from the point. Are individually brilliant players slightly out of fashion, even though we've got someone like Lamine Yamal coming through? There's always going to be incredible individual talent, isn't we? Or is the game now is it more like a computer game, for example?
Yes, it is. It's more tactical, definitely.
Yeah.
The game's boring. Watching the games, if you actually watch...
Michael, we're trying to sell a podcast here. We're talking about football. The rest is football. He said it's boring.
We'll do the scores. We'll tell them the scores, but they want to listen to us. The game's boring, isn't it? And I think it's because managers are more tactical. So I feel as though...
Do you think we're more athletes, though, footballers, than perhaps footballers?
We had this conversation a year ago, and you were saying, well, you guys were saying, and Alan didn't agree, but footballers now are more athletic. 100%. The data is there. It's become the survival of the fittest, hasn't it, really? It's more, I would say it's more aggressive. I think the tackles are better. I believe there were better players and better mavericks 10, 15 years ago, but the intensity of the game has definitely gone up.
The only thing I would say about the maverick side of things, or they don't have any fun anymore in football and all that, I have heard that. I've been around this over 6 decades now, and every generation it's the same. You don't have the characters that you used to get. You don't have the skill. And what happens is, of course, when you're actually playing, you can't. The character side of things comes out after. And then because you finished the game, you play with certain personalities. You don't know the personalities that were in the game now. But I do think there is a shift in the tactical and the way that players are taught.
But it's a good thing, though. It might be boring to watch, but players...
But that's not a good thing if it's boring to watch, because it's entertainment.
But I mean, in terms of the way English players are being brought through now, I think they're more tactically aware. How many times historically we've said, we played against the Italian team. They're a bit more, what was the words that, streetwise, the word was we used to say. Spanish teams, or they're technically better than us. I just feel it's taking a while, but they're being coached differently now, which now everyone's got a strategy, which are making the games more boring. I don't think it's a bad thing per se, but we're seeing less mavericks. Would you agree with that, Alan?
What's the traitor got to say about it?
I just think in every era, you're pushing what you have available to you at that particular time. I think you're trying to push it to the maximum. I guess 10 years' time, we'll be saying, can you remember when Haaland was doing this? Or I just wonder what new technology or what the fad is in 10 or 15 years' time, But I think you do, to every era, you do push to get the best out of what's available. I think the players 20 years ago were the fittest they could be. You're not telling me that players don't have a good time now. You're not telling me players don't party now and go out.
They're young men, aren't they? We know what young men are like. We know young men have a lot of fun. And we have a lot of fun on this podcast, and we'll have some more fun when we come back after this break. Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker. We're discussing the Champions League week. Lots of things to discuss. I want to ask a question because you were getting very excited about Dan Burn's goal as a central defender, brilliant curling header that he scored. Was that a better goal, in your opinion, than Micky van der Ven's?
Oh, wow.
What a goal that was.
Yeah, Dan's was a great header, but oh my goodness me, a centre-half running that far with the ball at his feet at pace, going past, six opposition players and then having the ability to stick it in after going all that way.
I think so too.
Nah, I think Van der Ven's was slightly better.
Have you got him in your fantasy, Al? Or you wouldn't know because you don't do it. And you're having a torrid time. You was at the top of the league for a week and now you've been at the bottom for 3 weeks.
I've lost concentration on that. I'll have to go back to it and see what my son's been doing.
I brought him in last weekend, Micky van der Ven, and obviously he ended up storming off the pitch with a hump. And then he goes and scores a goal that obviously doesn't count at all in your fantasy team because it's in Europe, which is equally as frustrating. He could have saved that for the weekend. But I thought Thomas Frank in his interview after talking about the goal, brilliantly handled. I think it was absolutely perfectly done. The way he joked that, listen, if he scores goals like that, he can storm off the pitch anytime, I don't care. And I thought that was a brilliant way of dealing with it.
Experienced manager handling a difficult situation very well. Because he's one of his big players, as was Jed Spence, so he couldn't go looking for an argument. He just had to handle it the way he did, and I thought he did it really, really well.
He also said they apologised after it came up to him. I think we predicted it right. Not predicted it, but I think we called it right on how it happened. That the two players were just frustrated at the game, at the way they played, and just went off. And then it's no big deal. And it was an important win, though, after that. They needed that because it was a really poor performance at the previous weekend against Chelsea, wasn't it?
It was torrid, wasn't it? But the back, if you actually look at what Spurs have done in the league and then doing all right in the Champions League, I think it's been a better start than people are giving them credit for.
It's been a good start.
Yeah,
it's been a solid start, isn't it?
Start, really.
Considering you got to remember they were 17th in the Premier League last season. I know they won a European trophy, but they were 17th in the Premier League. So I think they're making strides. You've got to be a little bit patient, but as we all know, football fans aren't generally.
Just one thing before you move on. Did you see, was it Kolo Muani's first touch when the ball went high in the air?
Beautifully done, wasn't it? God. I saw his two misses as well.
Gosh. But the ball was spinning all over and he took it down beautifully and then passed it across. I just thought it was amazing.
Brennan Johnson sending off. I mean, did you see that? You see it, Alan?
I haven't seen that.
I know you were at another game, but honestly, have a little look at it. Right. It's ridiculous. He's sliding in. As he's gone in, it's a yellow probably. His foot hits the ground and bounces up like 3 inches off the ground and catches. It was not, I mean, it was...
Slow-mo didn't look great, did it, though, guys?
Slow-mo makes everything look bad. Every single challenge looked bad. But he was clearly just sliding in and there was no thought of lifting his foot on it back. You know, like it does, your foot suddenly lifts up off the ground. Have a look. I'll be interested to see what you think. I wasn't even sure about, I mean, I know he's got injured from it, Hakimi, and these things happen, but I just thought that was more clumsy than anything else and a bit awkward.
I thought that was a bit naughty.
His ankle was facing, well, I didn't like that one.
No, I think it was unfortunate the way he landed on him, but I don't think there was any like vicious intent, not at all. I want to talk about Phil Foden.
He's back. He's back.
He's back. He's playing with a smile on his face. He's looking brilliant again. I'm so happy for him because he's clearly a good lad and he's a fantastic talent. And it's really good. There's a World Cup coming up in 7 or 8 months.
I think with Philip, It's one of those things where we talk him up. And I remember in the Euros, he was having that discussion with Fabregas, wasn't he? He needs to do more. And the point I was trying to make is that they don't have to build a team around Foden. But if you are going to play him, he's just better in the central areas. If you look
he's so much better, isn't he?
If you look at the time it took him to get in the space, we call them half spaces now, Alan, for the modern day punditry, for him to turn and to shoot, I don't believe we've got anyone in the England squad that can do that. I think Morgan Rogers can get on the ball and drive at people. I think Bellingham can run all over the place. I think Cole Palmer likes to receive it and he's a bit of better dribbler and could score one. But in terms of the time it takes to get on the ball, turn and shoot or make the pass, that's why I believe Phil Foden's different to anything that we have.
He's got some big calls to make now, hasn't he, Thomas Tuchel, with who he brings in and who he leaves out, or with Bellingham back and Foden back. And
the squad announced today, I think Friday, if you're listening to this on Friday. We're doing this on Thursday, but I think it's announced, Do you think Bellingham might sneak back in it? I mean, it's nice you see players. I know the other night wasn't Real Madrid's night, but, Bellingham's been brilliant the last 2 or 3 weeks, absolutely world-class as he is. You've got Foden coming back to peak form. Harry Kane's been unbelievable this season. Marcus Rashford has been absolutely ripping it up at Barcelona.
The likes of Gordon, just like the way he just doesn't stop running. I just love
he went off injured last night, Micah.
Yeah,
about 5 minutes into the second half, didn't he?
Is he going to be okay?
So I doubt whether it didn't. I'd be surprised if he played at the weekend. So that may be an issue. Yeah, Morgan Rogers as well. You haven't mentioned, so because he did well last England games,
did really well. So it's those kind of front forward positions are looking promising, but then something will go wrong because it always seems to, doesn't it, before a World Cup? No, if by saying something will go wrong, I'm always wrong, so it might help. In midfield at the moment, in looking at the Premier League, I was watching obviously Arsenal again. We've not mentioned Arsenal yet, and Rice was terrific again. I mean, they don't concede a goal. They've not conceded a single goal in the Champions League in 4 games and won all 3.
Set piece FC though.
Won all 4 games.
Yeah,
so
set piece FC. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Well, if it works, who cares, I would say. If I were an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be slightest bit concerned about that. Who's the best midfield player in the Premier League at the moment? Because there are some tasty performances going on.
We had this discussion not so long ago, did we, with Rice and Rodri and what have you?
You're a horrible man, you know that, Alan. You're a horrible man. The conversation and the debate we had last year was around...
That's what I said.
No. It was based on the number 6 position. What's happened now? Zubimendi's gone into the number 6. Declan Rice can fly. He's world class in that position. In a number 6, he's never been as good as Rodri. We all know that.
I thought it was just a midfield. I wasn't aware that.
Who's the best 8 in the English league, in the Premier League at the moment? I'm not going to do worldwide.
There's 2 who are performing really well. It's Caicedo and Rice.
And Rice. Gravenberch.
I see him as a sitter though, who can go forward.
Okay, slightly different.
Yeah.
I mean, Declan Rice for me at the moment is breathtaking what he's doing. But so is Caicedo though. Caicedo is.
You see Caicedo winning the ball back for the goal against Spurs. He's like Kante. What's he doing there?
Oh, come on. Now you're getting carried away. No, we can't go into Angolo, not at this moment.
Sandro, ole.
There's no bias whatsoever from this man.
And I do love Sandro.
I tell you what, overall though, English teams are looking pretty good. They're all, I think, all 6 in the top 12, which is pretty impressive. But I think we also should have a word before we go on Bayern Munich and what Vincent Kompany is doing there. I mean, we all love Vincent. We know him pretty well. I'm absolutely delighted for him. I mean, what a start to the season. They've won every bloody football match.
Is it 19? Is it? They've played 19, won 19?
I think it's something along those lines. I mean, it's absolutely remarkable, isn't
it? I read 16. I read 16 wins in a row, but it might be 19. But I mean,
one of the two anyway. Even whatever it is, 16 or 19, it's bloody impressive.
16. Might be 16.
Incredible.
He's done a fabulous job. Sometimes he's dropped Kane in as a 10. He's made like different changes. I mean, they look really good at the moment. You know. I mean, do you know coming up very soon? Arsenal versus Bayern Munich.
I'm going to that game.
What a game that'll be!
You know the difference is though. We've talked about Kane, Michael Elise. Wow,
what a player!
Wow. He's took his game to the next level. What a move that was for him. Because if he would have went to City, he might not have played as much as he would have liked. Maybe even if he went Chelsea at the time with the wingers that they have, the competition. He's gone straight into Bayern Munich and played. He missed a couple games when he first went there. And after that, he's the main man there, which is crazy for Bayern Munich.
So on the 25th, on the Tuesday night, you've got Chelsea versus Barcelona, which could be unbelievable given the way that Barcelona play. That's on Amazon. And then on Wednesday, Arsenal Bayern. So I must make sure that I don't do anything stupid and book a dinner in that night, either of those two nights. You're so annoying when something like that happens, isn't it? And do you know what? We went to the Football Hall of Fame week this week for the inductees of Eden Hazard and Gary Neville. So I went along just to support the event. And then you go, oh, crikey, it's Liverpool, Real Madrid. So we perched and I ran to get out to go and watched it. We watched it on our phones during the ceremony. Me and Harry watched it in the cab going home. So, but it was a good night, and well done, Eden Hazard and Gary Neville, very deserved recipient. Anyway, so look forward to those games. But for now, we'll call it a day. So goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Have a great weekend.